Time to do some maintenance. Hey guys, welcome to the shop. I'm Tim. Today we're going to be changing out a bandsaw blade on my rigid bandsaw. Over the course of the time I've owned this bandsaw, which is about 2 years, I've sharpened it twice with a Dremel tool. I'll leave a link in the description below to the video on how you can do that with a Dremel tool. Now, after sharpening it 2 times, I really don't want to go any further with sharpening it or taking away any more metal on this blade. So today we're going to go ahead and just change it right out. The blade I'm going to be switching it to is a 1/4 inch wide. It's going to be a little bit smaller than the one that's currently on there. I would like doing a lot more curved work, and so I've got a skinnier blade. I also plan on buying a thicker blade for resawing. So the first thing you want to absolutely make sure you do is unplug this. You don't want the saw to accidentally turn on for any reason. Now that we've gotten it unplugged, we can come to the doors. You have a top door and a bottom door. Here is the top one right here. You have your wheel up top. As you can see, this is where the vacuum is. Here is your bottom wheel. It has a brush right here to help keep the wheel clean during production or during your use. And I always try to vacuum it out right before I start everything. I've already vacuumed this out. So here is my tensioner right here, and all I'm going to be doing is loosening this up. That way it makes it easier for the blade to come out. So now that you have a lot of slop, now you can start sliding the blade out, working it out through the bearings right here. It's very simple to do. You can pull out this plate. Gotta get a screwdriver. Just pop it right out. Once it's out of these bearings, you want to go ahead and get this piece, this little bolt that's in here, taken out. You're gonna have to get an adjustable nut stripper to help pull this out. And this is not screwed in here, it was just stuck. Now the purpose of this is to keep these 2 tables level. If you don't have it over time, they will flex. So that's what this is in here, because you have this little gap right here. So this helps keep it in line. So don't lose that, that's very important. Just like that, I have the old bandsaw blade out, and I don't know how well you can tell, but this is fairly worn. Some of these teeth are flat in the front. So now we'll go ahead and get our other blade. And these are cheap. This one's from Lowe's. This only costs $10. So I'm hoping this one will do fairly well and last a little while. Alright, so when you're unwrapping it, you gotta make sure that you don't sprint it into your face or anything like that, so be careful. Also watch for cutting your hands apart. So here is the bandsaw blade all taken apart now. Just slide it in reverse of everything we did to get this out. Here is a look at the underside of where we're putting it. So you want to set it in between those bearings. So now that you've gotten it on, I'm just going to go ahead and adjust the tension. I just do this by feel right here in this area, or any kind of area that you have that's open. You can definitely check, see what your tension is like. And as you're doing this, go ahead and just make sure all your parts stay inside the guides, bearings, whatever you want to call them. So after you've gotten your bandsaw blade on, you want to adjust the tracking. This was riding pretty heavy into the front, and you adjust it by the tensioner, or by the adjuster right here for the wheel. And if you screw it in, you can see how it goes backwards. If you screw it out, it tilts the top of the wheel out, and you can see that it's actually letting the bandsaw blade ride into the front of the wheel. So you want it somewhere right here in the middle. Always adjust it in the same rotation. Don't try to go backwards like that. Adjust it in the rotation that the blade will be going. I'm going to go ahead and replace the plate. And also the little bolt that was in the end. And just to double check that the blade is not going to come off, I'm going to flip it on for a minute. With the rigid bandsaw, they have a nice feature here, and that's this little sight glass right in the side of your top door that you can actually watch the travel of your blade, and it stayed right where I want it. So the next thing I need to do is go ahead and adjust all of these little guides bearings down here. So these are very simple to adjust, and one of the things that you want to make sure is that you have the back support on your blade. So with this back bearing right here is what's going to support your pushing. So as you're feeding it, it'll end up pushing into this little bearing. So what you want to do is loosen these up, and you can actually adjust the movement of this. So I want to get it to it's just barely, I can feel it scrubbing right there. So I'm backing it off just a bit, and then I'm going to tighten that down. Now we need to adjust these and make sure these aren't touching, and these look fairly close. Actually, I don't think I'm going to need to adjust them. So if you do end up having to adjust your bearings right here, your side guide from right to left, and you need it a little bit closer or a little bit further away, this side's a little bit further away, what you want to do is get a wrench and Allen key, and this is going to be your setup for this. So as you can see, it actually rotates away when you're going to the right, and it rotates closer when you're going to the left. So we'll leave it right there. And then this side looks pretty good. So we don't have much play. This will help greatly with your blade wobble when you're trying to cut. It doesn't let the blade go side to side. When you're adjusting these, what you want is the front part of this bearing to be just behind the gullet of your blade. You don't want the bearing to be rubbing on your actual blade. So as you can see right here from the side, the teeth are right here, and this bearing is set just behind the gullet so that there's no bearing riding on the teeth right here. If you do that, you'll wear away the teeth a lot quicker. So make sure you have your bearings behind your gullet, and then your main bearing just barely touching or just barely off of the back side of the blade. Alright, so now that we have changed out our bandsaw blade, I have a current project right here. We're just going to test it out, make sure that everything works fine, none of the bearings are hitting the blade like it's not supposed to be. Let's go ahead and turn this on and see how it runs. burn mark whatsoever. It's fantastic. I like that. The last one I did, it burnt the leg completely because the blade was so dull. That's why I knew that it was time to change it out. So, that was very simple, very easy job to do. You guys now know how to change out your blade and do the setup so you guys get a very nice cut. Don't ruin your bandsaw blades either by having your guides in the incorrect spot. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, hit that thumbs up button. If you guys are new, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Always hit that bell so you guys get all the notifications when I post videos. Thanks for watching. Share the video all over your social networks. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.